What's up, guys? This is the zone offense matrix. It's a very simple offense, but it can get more complex and allow for more options as well. It can be tailored for specific situations if you want. You can make specific plays out of the formation, out of the zones. Uh, it can be tailored to fit, specific skill sets your might team might have. It can be tailored for specific strengths and weaknesses your team might have. However, it's a lot like the triangle in the way where it flourishes as a free-flowing offense. It's very good at improvising and adapting to what the defense is doing. And you know, game theory wise, that's obviously the optimal strategy. You want to counter what the defense is doing, not just have this set um, strategy. Um, it allows players to think for themselves and execute the offense by adapting to what the defense is doing and exploit the defense. Um, so we'll just get right into it. I guess basically there's four options, and I guess we'll start with the first two, and we'll kind of let you extrapolate on your own what the third and fourth ones, can do for you. Um, so if it, I guess we'll just state with like the main rule here is if your teammate leaves his zone and enters yours, you must fill his zone using and setting screens when applicable and looking for scoring opportunities when applicable. So in this first example, we have the four, the power forward. The four is, I mean, you can make it any player except for the point guard. So you can, this is option A. You can choose your two, your three, your four, or your five to initiate option A. In this example, the coach has decided to have the power forward be the initiator. And so he has three options, right? He's gonna set off the ball screens. He's not gonna screen for the ball handler. He's gonna set an off the ball screen for one of these three options, the two, the three, or the five. So I don't want to overcomplicate this for you. It's basically just you're screening someone so that they can screen someone else so that they can screen someone else. That's all it really is. And you're not really doing a pick and roll. You're doing off the ball screens. That's all it is. It's just a series of off the ball screens. And I don't want it to overcomplicate it. You just go to your zones and you wait for someone to come set a screen for you. Once that person comes to set a screen for you, you use the screen, you go into their zone, look to score. If it's not there, you pass through their zone into somebody else's zone and set a screen for somebody else. So let's take a look at this example we have. Um, Again, I don't want to overcomplicate it for you guys. It's pretty cut and dry. Again, our four is the initiator. He has three options to set screens for. In this example, he chooses. And this is already great because he has three options. Now he can exploit the defense. He's like, okay, I can set here. I don't want to just have this set offense. If I have options like this, now he can decide, I want to set a screen for five because this, and this. Or I want to set a screen for the three because this, and this. Or I want to set a screen for the two because this, and this. The two is hot right now, so I'm gonna set a screen for the two. Or the three has a weak defender on him, so I want to create a mismatch or whatever. Whatever. There's just a million different scenarios, right? So in this instance, he chose to set a screen for the three for whatever reason. So now, like, okay, this is like pretty much our first opportunity. Depending on what the defense does, this is the point guard has the ball. I forgot to put the ball in his hands, but the point guard has the ball, and he has a he has a cut to the basket. If the lane's open, he can make that pass there, and he can score. If the pass isn't available, player through cuts through. Now they just switch zones. It's a zone switch, right? They switch zones, and now he can look for a pass, or the ball handler's still looking for options here to make a pass to for scoring opportunities. Well, no scoring opportunities. So now he is now the initiator. Now that nobody else can leave their zone. Now it's on him. So he decides to go here, set a screen for there. He's looking for the basket cut and for a scoring opportunity. Say it wasn't there. Now he's setting a screen for someone else. And he sets a screen for someone else. And he sets a screen for someone else. And he sets a screen for someone else, all the while looking for scoring opportunities. Very simple. It's not very complicated, guys. It's just a series of screens for it's not very complicated at all. And what this does, it just allows people to get open. I mean, we can go on and on about all the benefits and what it can do for you, but I'll just touch base a little bit. What this does is it gets people open without involving the ball. So the ball isn't going to be turned over as much. You're not going to have someone doing a lot of dribbling and risk, a turnover. It's just going to be a pass and a score. Usually is what it's going to result in, right? Um, and the more passes you have, the more chance you have of a turnover. So if you can get people open without involving the ball anyway, that's optimal in my opinion. Okay, so that's option A, right? Now let's take a look at option B. Very simple. Now, instead of one player allowed to leave your zone, you're now allowed to have two players leave your zone. Whether you want those, you can be any two. The coach can decide, okay, our option B is player 2 and 3, 4 and 3, 4 and 5, 3 and 5, whatever. In this example, the coach has the 4 and 5 running the option B. So now these players have three options again, same thing. But now they can both do it at the same time, just depending on what the defense does. I want to go here because this is and this. I want to go there because this is and this. I want to go there because this and this. But now they're both doing it. So now what this does, it gives more options to the offense. It does leave more room for error, but it also leaves more room to exploit the opponent. In this instance, I specifically chose this option because it's the more unique one of the two. Like the other ones, like the other options are pretty straightforward, right? Like, so what happens if he decides to go here, like, okay, now someone needs to go in this zone, right? Because you don't want two people in the same zone. So now becomes our moment of truth. So he goes, sorry, let me start that over. So he's gonna use this screen. 3 is gonna use this screen, and then it just opens up so many options. Like I can't tell you. There's not one specific thing that needs to be done from here. It depends what the defense does. So depending on the defense plays, he can decide to set a screen for him. He can cut to the basket. He can go behind the screen and fill here. He can there's just so many different things. So it just depends what the defense is doing, what you want to do. In this example, he decided to just cut through to the open zone, and looking for scoring opportunities along the way, of course. And you can see, like, okay, from here, I guess you're gonna wanna. There's just so many options, right? So you can see how it's like a decision tree. Option A has one decision tree. Very simple. There's like the root, which is this is the root of the tree, and then it branches out with three options. He chooses this option. Decision tree again. Three options. 1, 2, 3. He can fill the empty zone, or he can go set a screen here and set a screen for here. Usually you're looking to score, obviously. So that's your fourth option, I guess you could say. But obviously you're gonna be looking to score. But if that's not there, you're either gonna set another screen for someone else, or you're gonna fill the empty area. You're gonna cut through the empty area, and if there's still no opportunities to score, then you keep going. You come around and set another screen for someone else. Um, then option B, you now have the root of the decision tree, the three branches. They chose those options on the decision tree. And so this guy actually has a few now the three has the decision, He has the decision tree. He can go here to set a screen for two. He can go here to set a screen for four, or he can fill the empty zone. Again, the decision tree leads to three branches. Um, so again, three branches. He can set a screen here. He can. There's actually more. This is actually just showing you different routes he can take, but it's still filling the empty zone. But so he can fill the empty zone, set a screen here, and I forgot to put another branch here, but he can go set a screen for two if he wants. Um, so yeah, I hope that's pretty clear cut to you. I hope I didn't overcomplicate it too much, but I think the fact that we have the decision trees in there really simplifies this offense so that it can be consistent. Um, if people don't really, if everybody's on the same page, it's just going to be so consistent that it's going to be hard to make mistakes. So you start with, option A, and then you get more complicated as your players get better and understand the offense a little more. So yeah, that's the zone offense matrix, and you can even make you can make your specific plays for it too if you want to have, like, for example, you want to draw up a specific play where the four is uh I guess we also used to have one that we would run where one player, like our best shooter, would just be we called it the catalyst, where the one player is allowed, everybody stays in their zone, and the one player runs through all the screens, and they try to free him up so he can get his shot off. And also you can draw little, just so you guys can kind of, get an idea of, if when I say stay in their zone, like they can operate like in like a sort of region where this is their zone, right? And that's their zone. They kind of can go anywhere in the zone, but you don't want to leave the zone. Now, say one person is the catalyst. So, like, say would be like our catalyst play where, like, he passes the ball here, and then he starts running off screens, trying to get open for his jump shot. Um, and the ball can swing around while he's trying to get open. Um, so, like, maybe like this guy goes to this part of the zone to help free him. That kind of a thing. That was our catalyst play, and that one was like poetry in motion, because that one's just so simple to execute. Like, everybody knows where their zones is, and they just set screens and try to get this guy open. So that's also a little. It's like there's all these little sub plays you can draw up for it too, and it's very structured in that way. So yeah, guys, that's the zone offense matrix. Well, we can always touch more on it later, and hopefully you can use this in your in your youth basketball team. Stick with that option A, and just option A and Catalyst is very good for youth basketball. Okay.